Yard waste can be placed in brown bags, craft bags, or your own containers marked with yard waste stickers, which can be obtained at no charge by calling customer service at 708-385-8252, or maybe easier for many people, obtaining stickers at the Village Hall. Tree branches must be bundled at a maximum of 2 feet in diameter and 4 feet in length. It should be weigh no more than 40 pounds. Here's another option for you, maybe easier. The Public Works Department will start storm damage branch pickup on April 7th. Please have your branches to the curb side ready for pickup prior to the dates posted. You can find updates on our village website, Facebook, and the upcoming Vedette newspaper. Please note we do not chip root balls or trees that have been contracted out for removal. And then on April 12th, we'll be starting our annual spring water main flushing. Operations will be conducted daily, 7 a.m. up to about 3 p.m. Sometimes they do run later than that. The schedules will be posted on our village website and updated daily. Please watch for the signs in your neighborhood posted the day before. And then lastly, just a reminder that in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Village of Monee temporarily suspended late fees and water disconnection along with other collection activities for utility accounts. However, reminder, all late fees and shutoffs will begin on the May 1st billing cycle. So that is coming to an end. And end of report.
Thank you very much, Doug. We'll move on to Finance, Trustee Blue.
No report, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Janet. Move on to Economic Development, Trustee Razik.
No report tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Building Services, Trustee Udris.
Yeah, I think we skipped Parks and Rec. So I don't know if we want to go back and do that first, or if you want me to go ahead and do my report.
Go ahead.
All right, I have a very short report tonight. Just again, a reminder that if anybody does have any questions regarding any inspections, home repairs, any improvements or building structures, any kind of code compliance, or just simply needs a building permit, that please call the Building Services Department at 708-534-8303, or you can email buildingservices@villageofmonee.org. End of report.
Oh, my God. Okay, end of report? Michael. Parks
Yes,
and
Mayor.
Recs.
Thank you. The Monee Beautification Committee presents the second annual Monee Curb Appeal Award. You can nominate yourself or other residents or another resident from April 1st through June 15th, 2020. So Monee Curb Appeal Award, April 1st through June 15th, 21. Easter egg hunt, Saturday, April 3rd at the football field. Rain or shine, and make sure you bring your basket and your mask. It is broken down into different age categories. So from 0 to 4 is at 10 a.m., ages 5 through 8, 10:15 a.m., ages 9 through 12 years old, 10:30 a.m., ages 13 and up, 10:45 a.m. Volunteers are needed, so feel free to come on out and participate April 3rd at the football field. Earth Day, presented by the Village of Monee Beautification Committee, Saturday, April 17th at Fireman's Park, 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. Team up to clean up. Bring your gloves, and if it's raining, bring a raincoat. But be prepared to work. Trash removing, trash and recycling will happen at that time also. Senior Luncheon, Wednesday, April 21st, which I'd like to report that the last Senior Luncheon was a success. Thank you to everyone who participated. We encourage our 55 years young crew and older to come on out and participate in this event. Wednesday, April 21st, The fee is $5 per person. Drive up to the west side of the Parks building for pickup. Last but not least, we got good news from Diana Kroll, our Director of Parks and Recreation. With the state opening back up, we are full force moving ahead with Fall Fest. So we can all use a little relief. So those plans are coming. So I encourage you to look at our website, villageofmonee.org, for any updates. Also, we're looking for any instructors or people to teach classes, or some feedback into what kind of classes that you would wish to see in the village Parks and Rec program. The feedback is priceless, so we do need to hear that. We do need to hear what works for the kids and what adult programs, and we got some new and interesting things slated, so stay tuned. End of report, Mayor.
Thank you, Michael, and I apologize to you. Move on to Public Safety, Trustee Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A report tonight. We just wanted to let everyone know that 3 officers received letters of commendation for the arrest of T. Harris, a vehicular hijacking suspect. On July 17th of last year at approximately 10 a.m., Monee police were dispatched to check on a possible stolen vehicle at an area motel. Shortly after arrival, officers were able to identify the suspects in possession of the vehicle and took them into custody. Detectives believe the suspects were involved in recent carjacking incidents that occurred in Monee. They spent many hours reviewing video, talking to witnesses and victims, coordinating efforts with multiple suburban police agencies and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. It was without a doubt the efforts of the Monee police officers that led to the apprehension of the suspect for aggravated vehicular hijacking, armed robbery, attempted vehicular hijacking, possession of a stolen motor vehicle, and unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. Mr. Harris is still in custody at the Will County Adult Detention Facility and is primarily due to Sergeant Brent Cash, Detective Daniel DiPaolo, and Detective Evie Lazzaroni. Great work by all. Thank you. And as we wanted to talk about, as we have been talking about, we are all anxious to get our police canine unit. So I've been asked to make a motion for Union Council to draft documentation as previously TA'd by both sides to further the acquisition of the canine officer, the dog itself. Making that motion?
Is there a
I'll
second?
make the
Did you
motion
make
for you.
motion? Second. Any discussion on this?
About
Roll call.
time, Mayor.
I'm sorry?
About time.
About time.
Well, we had one years ago. Okay,
By that guy.
any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Heidi. Thank you, Heidi. Okay, we'll move on to the attorney's report. He's only got a couple items. I
Thank you,
guess I
Mayor.
can't read, huh? Larry, go right ahead.
The first item, I believe, the Monee Comprehensive Plan is up for the board's review and consideration. I believe they had the public comment, the public hearing. A presentation was made by staff and the engineers handling this. The board deems appropriate. It's up tonight for the board's review and consideration to accept the Monee Comprehensive Plan as presented.
Could I have
I'll
a
make that
on
motion,
please?
Mr. Mayor.
Second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Okay. Any discussion?
Well, and I did get to see the end of the plan this evening, in full force. So again, I just wanted to say thank you. And it was an incredible amount of diligent work for almost 2 years. And it's an incredible blueprint. Thank you to everybody who participated. And I'm so very excited to see it in motion.
I just want to say it. This has been going on, like you said, for quite a while, and it's pretty exciting, to be honest with you. There's going to be a lot happen if we follow through with this plan. That's what we hired the company for, so. Any other discussion?
Just a comment on the process. It was refreshing to see all the residents get involved. Pre-COVID, when we actually met in here, and then go to Zoom. The feedback that we got, that we received, that pretty much we're all on the same page as to some extent, how we want to see the village grow is parks. Well, I'm from the Parks and Rec Comprehensive Plan, mirrored also with the overall comprehensive plan for the village. This is just a roadmap of where we want to go, possibly. At any point in time, we can deviate. But also, it allows us to go after those grants, because they want to see, what are your intentions? Where's your head at? Where does the future of Monee lie? Where are you going? And that plan is already in place. So now that we can go after those grants, the OSLA grants and different grants that allow us to make some of these things happen, especially with our Parks and Recs, with the football field and the issues that we have with the lighting, the diamonds, and also parks, and also with the commercial property, and that's not all funded by us or taxpayers. That's going to be a joint venture also with private entities. So to see all the stakeholders come together and to voice their opinion was awesome. And I really appreciate those who came out and were a part of it, because it really is going to make a difference in the future of Monee. Thank you.
I would like to say something as well, and Trustee Wilson, that was well said. The last point I'd like to make, I don't know if you're all aware of, but there's an election coming up in about 2.5 weeks. Might be news to some of you, but my point in that is we're going to have a new mayor, we're going to have some new people on the board most likely, new administration coming in. The plan gives us some focus, but it also allows the new administration and the new mayor to personalize it and make it their own, and gives a lot of different action points that we can move forward on, and those action points can be prioritized by our new mayor and administration.
And I think it's also worth noting that the last comprehensive plan that we did was, 1998, 95, something like that? So long overdue to be put out there, and it's a great plan. It's great focus for our village.
Thank you, gentlemen. I just wanted to say that you mentioned grants, Michael, and I believe we're batting 1,000 on grants. A very simple thing that could happen in the road program next year, and I don't care if I'm jumping the gun a little. If we do Court Street in 3 phases, we get more grant money. If we do it all in one, we don't get as much. That's just the way the laws are. And we have people on the board and administration that study these things. Thank you, DJ, and thank you, Robinson Engineering. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor.
And ordinance number,
No, just a motion.
What?
No, it's not ordinance.
says ordinance on my page.
This is the one coming up.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is an ordinance directing the sale of real estate near Cleveland Industrial Drive. Pursuant to the statute, we have to publish this in the newspaper. Also set forth the terms of the sale, which I have attached to the ordinance. The bids will be due, I believe, by April 12th. The property is being sold on an as-is basis. We don't make any guarantee as to the condition of the property. Gave the PIN numbers. Then the board, after bids are received, has the right to accept or reject the bids. But by law, since this is surplus property, we do have to publish to give people the opportunity to put a bid in, and then the board will determine what is the best bid on the property, and also what's the best use for the property. So tonight, all we do is set the groundwork to have the ordinance passed and the notice published.
I'll make
you,
that
Larry.
motion.
Second it.
There was a first and a second. Any discussion on that?
Council, has there been an appraisal done on this?
Yes, sir. by law, I have to have an appraisal, so the purchase price has got to be 80% of the appraisal. I have submitted it probably 2 or 3 months ago, so I do have the appraisal. It's up here for the board's review. Not here, but in the office.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Idris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
1970.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item, we were just alluding to it about grants and funding for different projects. There is a project that will be set forth to go for the Court Street, Elder Lane to Eastgate Avenue. I believe this is repaving, and in connection with that, we are getting some federal funding, but we do have to pass 3 agency agreements with respect to this project. The first one would be discussion and local public agency agreement for federal participation. It appears the total cost is about $322,000. The federal funding, I believe, would be $257,600. What this does indicate that we'll comply with any and all regulations by IDOT, but we also will have our contact person through Robinson Engineering will comply with any and all of the regulations, but you do need to have this on board before we can participate in this funding. So you don't need an ordinance, but you do need a motion approving the local public agency agreement for federal participation.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Idris?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. In connection with that, too, under this project, you need a local public agency agreement with engineering services provided by Robinson Engineering. They set forth their fees. The IDOT has approved the same, and we will need this in connection to get, again, funding on this project. Need a motion to approve that.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Idris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. And the last one on this project, you need, we're going to try to fund some of our obligation from this project through the motor fuel tax funds that we have available. In order to do that, we need a motion approving, this is a resolution, I'm sorry, approving, withdrawing, or requesting the motor fuel tax funds to pay our portion of the costs incurred with respect to this project.
Have a motion and a half, please.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion?
I have a question for council. Would it normally come out of the motor fuel fund?
Well, you can take it out of there. It's money that's got to be designated for road improvements. This is one of the best road improvements. So IDOT will have to approve this eventually, but motor fuel tax fundings are strictly designated towards road improvement projects. So I believe it's appropriate.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Idris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
2021-4.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is an ordinance repealing Title V, Chapter 1, Section 7. This deals with what we discussed at the last board meeting pertaining to the makeup of the Monee Police Department. And the staffing will consist of a police chief, deputy police chief, and a maximum of 13 patrol officers, which includes 2 sergeants. It's up for the board's review and consideration.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that?
So, and I just want to bring it up for, this is not repealing the entire ordinance. This is a repeal and replace. So there's one paragraph within the ordinance that states the number of police officers, and this paragraph is just replacing the last one, giving 2 more police officers. So it's a repeal and replace, not repealing the entire ordinance.
Thank you, Heidi. Any other discussion on this? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
That one is 1971.
Thank you, Mayor. The last item for the board's consideration deals with ordering a 2021 case skidster, I think it's
Skid
called.
steer.
For the Department of Public Works, obviously. The units purchased under the state purchasing plan. The vehicle is budgeted for this year. The total cost would be $71,500. I believe this may have been discussed in the past, but again, this is going through a plan that's already vetted the different contractors and suppliers. So it is a Sourcewell contract. If the board deems appropriate, you need a motion to approve the permission of this equipment.
Can I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Second.
second.
Any discussion?
Yes. DJ, can you come up? Can you let the public know, like, the price difference between a Caterpillar and a Case? And why we're going with Case? I know it's a huge
Good evening,
thing.
Board. Caterpillar doesn't have the same amount of benefit to the state bid pricing. CAT units usually are a lot higher in this particular case whenever we've looked into it. And because we're familiar with the repairs with cases and things of that nature, and they offer extended warranties, they come out, they fix stuff, things of that nature, we've had good success with Case, and so that's why we go with them. They are a far more affordable unit to be able to service, repair. You don't need so much specialty stuff. And Case is just a specialty with everything when it comes to that. Engine, drivetrain, repairs, cost. You know, I think when I looked for a comparable unit, it was about $90,000 to start.
Wow.
Yep. And this was part of the fiscal year 21 purchase plan. After talking with Daryl and waiting for the COVID to kind of settle down, waiting to see if we could get a snow unit like we took the advantage of buying that big unit before. It just wasn't going to come to fruition, and this was actually cheaper to get it through the state bid pricing this time for this particular unit. So we just said we could go ahead and get that executed and get it done. So
Thank you,
Thank you.
DJ.
thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yes, just to comment, the use for this, it will be for assisting in planting trees, taking care of parks, street maintenance, loading and unloading of stone mulch and cold patch materials. So it will be put to good use in our village.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
I'll bring this up. The one other item, Mayor, it was just brought to my attention that the ordinance with respect to the police department shall consist of 13 patrol officers, which includes 3 sergeants as opposed to 2? Yes. Okay, so that should be noted. It's 3 sergeants as opposed to 2. I don't think any action is necessary. I just changed that in the ordinance, but the record should reflect 3 sergeants.
Very good.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Larry. Move on to old business. Is there any old business? If not, we do have something on new business. Larry, would you mind discussing that one?
Yes, sir. We received, under new business, we received a notice of intent form on March 19th from University Park. It appears as though the owner of property at 1325 Central filed for a variance in compliance with the UP's Planning and Zoning Code. They are setting a public hearing with respect to this proposal. It pertains to the installation of low-voltage perimeter security surveillance. But they, pursuant to their code, they've sent a notice to us because we're within 1.5 miles of their boundaries. So a hearing will be established. I don't believe there's any action to be taken, but according to their ordinance and Will County, they send you a copy of this. So we usually, historically, don't take any action on it. It's more of a courtesy thing, but it's in another village. It's not unincorporated, but you may see something in the newspaper about it.
Thank you, Larry. Is there any other new business? If not, we'll move on to open to the public, non-agenda items. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Norm Snow. I just want to thank Randy Alaskis, EMA Director, for the work he did over at Gulf Vista. We had over 200 people get inoculated today. I've been on the Will County website for over 2 months, haven't heard a word from them. So we got our inoculations today. We appreciate it, and thank you. Another thing, cost to the taxpayers came up in the meeting about the $50,000. We went through this, and I did the analysis on this. I went through paycheck by paycheck since 2011 for all the officers, when they got their raises, everything. But, you know, everybody wants CPAs to do it and everything. And the cost to have a CPA firm do this, lawyers involved, would well have exceeded $50,000. I spent 50 hours on the computer, not counting what I spent with Daryl, getting all the rules and everything else, you know, associated with this. So it's there is no cost. It would have just, you know, the pension board would have spent at least $50,000 to do the work to get 50,000. So it was decided, you know, not to do all that.
Thank you, Norm. Anyone else for open to the public?
Hi, Therese Bogues. I just had a question. I was looking for a little bit of clarity on that Resolution 2021-4. Paragraph 3, I know the STU funds from the federal, the local match is supposed to, it says in here going to be 20%, but it actually, the numbers work out to be about 25%. And then in the paragraph 6 here, written out, it says the sum of $135,000, but in parentheses it says $98,000. So just, you know, my assumption is it's a typo, but before anything gets filed, I just.
Can I, if I may, if I could ask Jeff Robinson for.
That was a typo.
Oh.
Okay, all right,
So
okay.
the signed version will be.
Okay, great, thank you, thank you.
And it should be, it is 80/20, so everything is 80/20. There's a, if you look at the breakdown in the agreement.
Right, yeah.
The way the resolution is set up, and the way that I not reimbursing the village, it's clear here. Basically, you do look at the breakdown in the agreement, in I-3.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll let you copy it later. Sure. Okay, all right, awesome, thank you.
Anyone else for open to the public?
Before we go into executive session, can I bring one thing up?
Certainly. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I may, I should have brought
We
this
got
up.
someone coming up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was a little tardy coming up. I'm Christy Holston. I just wanted to give a word of thanks to the current board, the mayor, and all the trustees for their support of the Restoring the Creamery Foundation. This is a restoration of a village property. I think it's a fine financial and fiscal decision on their part because this building will more than pay for itself through the years in its use as a community center and a place where all of the various civic organizations will have an opportunity to use it. I also just want to make one mention that this has been a 10-year process that we've been trying to save the building and restore it for use. There's never been any kind of a thought process that this would be historical alone and that it would be the purview of any one society. This has always been intended for public use and public gathering space. I also want to mention that the previous administration was in support of this too, and we want to thank Jay Farquhar and his administration that he supported it and we were managed to keep it from being demolished until such time as the village had a windfall, basically, from Amazon, that there was enough funds and discretionary funds to be able to invest it in this property for use by the village. So thank you all here. Thank the previous administration for keeping it going, and that's it. Thank you.
Christie, I have to add to that, if you don't mind. If it wasn't for Dan Tovo, it would have been demoed, if you recall. And your
Actually, it
talk
was
with,
three
your
administrations.
talk
You're
with
right.
him
He's the one that.
prevented that from happening, so.
He
it's
said
been
it was a stay of
3 different
execution.
administrations,
Mhm.
yes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
Anyone else for open to the public? Then I will just have my little say about open to the public. I just wanted to say that exactly what Norb Snow and Darrell did to save this village $50,000 is very indicative of the way the board and all the department heads, I'm very proud of the administration. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. So now we'll move into, yes, Larry?
If I may, it should have been under new business, but just let the board know, we did receive recently, in the last 3 days on a couple of projects, we received applications, request for developers to build near Cleveland Avenue Industrial Drive, and that's roughly total about 85 acres, I believe. We received a request to build across the street from Amazon, a spec building, and we did receive a request, a possible annexation agreement with some assistance from the village. Each developer has asked for a fairly quick response, because it is these properties will be are currently under contract. So the bottom line would be they are going to ask for some TIF assistance. They've made some requests about what they're looking for. So what I would probably recommend is authorize myself and Darrell to help me with respect to a reasonable incentive, bringing it back before the board at the next board meeting, so we can all look at it. The requests, some of them are pretty much in line with what we've done before in the past, but from their standpoint, timing is critical because it is under contract. They have usually 90 to 120 days for due diligence. So they're all doing boring tests or topos, whatever the case may be. But if that's appropriate and acceptable to the board, so I can at least indicate back to the developer and their counsel that we've been apprised of the situation and that it will be up for the board's input at the next board meeting. That sound appropriate?
So you need a motion?
Yeah, just a motion to authorize myself and Darrell, at least, so I have it in the record.
Yes.
So I can at least contact the council and the developer, because if they don't get a response, they feel,
Left out.
there's other properties available, and we are right now in a good situation.
Yep.
So, but any proposal we make will come, we'll draft, present it to the board. We will tell each developer that it is under consideration. It will be up before the board. They might be here at the next board meeting. I don't know. But timing's always critical from their standpoint. So I think that would probably be the proper way to go, because you don't meet for a while. And then thereafter, 30 days, they might feel, hey, we need some type of, at least response from the village.
No. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
What corner for Amazon are we talking, like on the north side across the street, east side?
I'm not the best. I think it's right across,
That's
To the north side.
It's on the north side.
North side.
North side of the street? Okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure it was
Yeah,
clarified.
they've been in negotiations to purchase property and things. There's a lot of things we'll have to do to, because it won't be in a TIF, so we have to create a TIF and other things. I don't want to get
No.
too much into all the legal stuff.
So,
In the Cleveland Avenue and Industrial Drive, we used to
That's
call it
different, yeah.
in Aggie's property, remember that one? And then Wilkins bought it. That's about 42 acres.
Yep.
And it appears as though the developer is buying another 40 acres from the individual we just bought property from in December, Aquila, and they would put up proposed 4 to 5 buildings. Wilkins would like to stay in the village. But once again, with any other developer, there are costs that they're going to incur. And that is in the TIF already, so they got a ways to go.
Correct.
The other one, like the mayor said, we might have to develop one if the board deems appropriate.
So, Larry, when you get that paperwork, then could we have it as soon as you get it so we can review it
You mean
in
Yes.
plenty of time for the next
Yeah,
meeting?
because any letter is going to say this is subject to board review and approval, subject to right to withdraw it, rescind it, amend it, whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you looking for a
Is there-
motion or anything?
I think there's a motion.
Yeah, we made a motion. a second.
Any other discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razak?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we did open to the public already,
Yeah.
non-agenda.
Executive
So we'll
session.
move into executive session. I'd like to move into executive session regarding 5 ILCS 120/2C, parentheses 1, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees. So could I have a motion to go into executive session, please?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Blue?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razak?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go into executive session. If you wish to, it could be a while, it could be short. If you wish to stick around, fine. Thank you.